Coming up on the Sports Desk.
It's back to school, which means we're headed back to the gridiron.
Week 1 and 2 of the Pioneer League are in the books, and we've got the results.
Plus, El Camino gives us a preview of what they've got in store for this season.
And we've got volleyball and much more. We have all the bases covered.
So buckle up, Torrance. The Sports Desk starts right now. Hello, and welcome to the Sports Desk, the only sports show designed with the Torrance sports fan in mind.
We're your hosts. I'm Cedric Welton, and this is my co-host, Dani Miskell.
We're so happy you could join us. Now, we're going to change things up a bit here this season on the Sports Desk, so be sure to tune in each week.
So let's kick off the fall season and talk some sports, Dani.
Well, they were just Spartans and Saxons not too long ago, but now they've grown up before our very own eyes, and they have become warriors.
Dani and I went back and visited Murdoch Stadium to catch up with Javin Fish and Sean Sigala, two athletes you'll remember because they were the star athletes of their high school as well as the stars on this show last year.
These boys showed us what the transition has been like from high school to college, so let's take a look.
Sean, it's good to see you. Last time I saw you was in high school. Obviously, it's your first full week of pads. Tell me what's going on this week. Tell me about the competition taking place at the quarterback position.
It's a lot of install. It's a lot of learning the plays, getting used to the system. And it's a huge jump in competition. You know, everybody out here is trying to eat. Everybody out here is trying to, you know, prove something. So it's a good environment, and I really like it.
Okay. Now, last time I saw you, you actually looked me in the eyes, told me you weren't done after that playoff game against Fullerton. What's been the biggest thing you had to learn at this level from your quarterback coach? How are you improving?
I think just seeing the game faster. You know, seeing reads quicker than I did in high school. Seeing different plays develop differently. You know, making more reads. You know, in high school I would have 1 or 2 reads. Now I have like 3 or 4. You know, so. It's all helped me, and it's all making me a better quarterback, and the system here is really great, and the coaches are really great, so I just really love the environment I'm in.
Okay. Now, can you just talk about some of your teammates? How do you feel you guys will perform this year as a team? Obviously, they came off a bowl win last year. What do you see from your teammates that you feel you can add to this environment?
Well, there's a lot of fire here. You know, everybody's really hungry, everybody really wants to compete, and everybody here is super talented, you know. The more we execute like we have been, and the more we practice as hard as we do, it's going to be a great year for us, and my job is just to help the team as much as possible.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. And now Dani's standing by with Javin Fish. Dani?
Nice pass, Cedric. Hey guys, I'm here with Javin Fish, and obviously a very familiar face because we followed him while he was at South High. So Javin, I just want to start off by asking you, what is it like being at the Juco level?
It's a lot different than high school. I mean, the tempo is faster, everybody's bigger, everybody's faster. Coaches are more hard on you, you know. Just the tempo is such a big deal in college compared to high school that it just makes such a big difference. Like, you need to be ready for that.
Yeah, and you're keeping up with it, obviously.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So here's, I really wanted to ask you, when we followed you at South High, you were a lineman and you were a tight end, but you're here and you are competing for the quarterback position. What motivated you to go for the QB position?
Well, I wanted to play quarterback my senior year, but you know, there were some complications. I needed to change my position and all, but I had my plan set to come here or Cerritos, but I actually came here, and I wanted to play quarterback. That's always been my dream, play quarterback, win football at college, and then play baseball too.
That's amazing. Can you tell us what your position coaches have been, you know, teaching you at this level?
I'm going to emphasize on tempo because that's probably the main thing that they've been preaching to us, is that we're the best, #1 offense in the nation for Juco, right? So we need to be, our tempo needs to be like the fastest to keep the defense off, you know, off balance and stuff.
All right. Well, can you just close out by telling us what it is, your personal goals that you have for yourself in this season and being a part of this team?
My personal goals is to get enough film, you know, to just send out to a whole bunch of coaches, and so I can get picked up, whether it be football or baseball. I want to play both. Yeah. That's my main goal, but if I have to choose one, I'm not sure yet. Whatever like is a better offer for me.
Javin, no matter what, I think you're going to be amazing and you're going to do great. You'll get picked up for sure. All right, thanks, Javin.
Great story, Dani. Well, those aren't the only Warriors that we got to chat with.
That's right, Cedric. We caught up with some returning defensive players looking forward to a fresh season.
I'm here with returning defensive back Jalen Morgan. And Jalen, can you kind of describe to me what's going on behind us?
Well, right now we're doing 7-on-7 with the offense. Very important drill. Work on all our plays. Offense go out there, do their plays. Defense work on their plays. So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay. Now, you're one of the few players that's returning, a lot of newcomers. What do you see from some of these new players, and what can we expect? Who can we expect to step up this year?
Well, funny thing is I'm not returning, but I'm a bounce back from Ohio University corner. But definitely coming here and being at the next level already, it's different. But I can say this, that Elko really has a family tie to it. And the moment I got here, I just felt the love and the passion from the players, and I really, embodied it and embraced it. So.
Okay, I'm an ex-corner myself, so I want you to tell me about your position group. Is that one of the strongest parts of your defense?
Well, I don't know how it really was last year, as I wasn't here last year, but definitely Coach Keese is a very good coach. He has some techniques that I'd never learned before as a corner. And like I said, I was at the next level, and still some techniques he had, makes us really good. Actually, if you see right now, he's doing a good press technique with the corners right now too that really helped us out. Going against Trey every day, he's Oregon State commit, he's obviously pretty good. It really helps us get better, so yeah.
And lastly, I just want you to give me some personal goals for yourself as a player this season.
Personal goal for myself, I came here to get better at things I'm not really, perfected yet, as far as off-man coverage. My tackling can get better, so things like that, just little personal things like that I think will make the game better.
And I'm here with linebacker Angelo Pacheco. Can you go ahead and tell us, what has football week been like?
It's been really physical this week. Offense is showing good high tempo. Defense is showing good physicality. Overall, it's been a great week.
Can you tell us about the drills that coaches have been running you through?
It's been really physical lately. Patches came on this week, and we've been going really hard, showing full contact through the whole way. We're not giving in or giving out at all.
And strategy-wise, there's going to be some competitive teams you're going to be facing this season. Who are you guys gearing up to face and take on?
Well, we're going by one. First of all, first week we're playing Riverside, so it's our first competition. We're going to show great mindsets, and we're going to come in full speed.
All right. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to go ahead and tell us about, a recap of how this week is going and how you project to do this season?
I think it's overall doing really good. Offense is just showing really high tempo, and defense is pulling through. Overall, I feel like both sides of the ball we're doing great, and we're going to show first game. It's going to come up.
All right, well, can you just go ahead and tell us is the team chemistry different with all these new players that have come in?
Energy's been a lot more higher so far. Guys from last year are really prepared. It's not like the year before where everybody was kind of confused. We had a whole new coaching staff as well last year. This year, everybody's had a year in, so I'm more prepared than it was last year.
I'm here with sophomore defensive lineman Ciardelli, Polo. Can you talk about what's going on this week? Talk about what's it been like in camp this week. What do you see from your returners this year?
So, this is our first week in pads. We started off kind of slow and tired, but we're working through that. We trying to fight through the fatigue because fatigue makes cowards of us all, So we trying to fight through that. No fear, getting ready for the season.
Okay. And then could you just reflect on last season? You guys obviously finished above 500, won your bowl game. A lot of newcomers I see in camp this year. What do you guys need to do to kind of fill that void left by some of those players who aren't returning?
We just got to try to get the new guys to try to fill in the big shoes that they left behind and try to get them to get with the program. We're not stopping for them, but we're going to keep it rolling.
Okay. And could you also just reflect on some of your personal goals as an individual player?
Right now, I got a goal set from my coach, 10 sacks. I'm trying to get that. And scholarship, of course, and set an example for my little brother.
Perfect. You heard it here, 10 sacks. That's what we expect. Now that we know what these 2018 Warriors are about, let's see them in action. The Warriors hosted their first game of the season versus Riverside. First quarter, Tigers up 6-0. Stone Smart finds Tyrone Marshall in the back of the end zone, taps the toe. Tigers lead 13-0. Warriors wouldn't get their first score until the fourth. This 9-yard touchdown run from Sean Prejean set the score at 27-7. Too much Tigers as this one got out of hand early. Stone Smart finds Melky Stovall late in the fourth. 34-7 Riverside is your final.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because you won't want to miss what's coming up.
We've got so much more in store. We'll be right back.
Palm trees, coastline, craft brews. Yep, this is Southern California. But this is Torrance. Have you ever driven to a whole other city just for a bowl of ramen? Because if you haven't, that's about to change. Have you ever been to a beach that feels so much like your own private beach that you're like, where has this been all my life? Welcome, my friends, to Torrance Beach. So private, you hadn't even heard of it. Have you ever been to a mall that had literally 2.7 million square feet of shopping? Run, don't walk to Del Amo Fashion Center. And get this, Torrance is the actual epicenter of the South Bay's craft brew industry. I guess you could say the brews are just craftier here. We also have a farmer's market that's just as much about the people as it is about the food. And even our museum scene is the best of the South Bay. All this just 15 minutes from LAX. You'll come for the city, stay for the experience, and leave as a friend. So, are you in?
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Dani Miskell, alongside with my co-host, Cedric Welton. Let's shift our focus now to the reigning Pioneer League champs and the team that finished right behind them.
We start with West High, who's looking to bounce back from a Week 1 loss as they host Santa Monica. Yours truly was present. Let's take a look. We start in the second quarter. Warriors up 7-0, and Brandon Poffenberger is looking deep. Connects with Dutch Silverlake for the touchdown. Score is 14-0 West. Moving to the fourth quarter now. Dutch does it all. Defense this time. Big time sack for a safety. Warriors lead the game 16-0. You will remember the name Dutch Silverlake. Next offensive possession off the handoff. Dutch scampers for 41 yards and the touchdown. Warriors lead in Santa Monica 23-0. Santa Monica had some momentum, but Jordan Ontiveros would seal the shutout with his second interception of the game. Warriors win the game 23-0, and I caught up with Coach Greg Holt and MVP of the game, Dutch Silverlake. All right, so Dutch, you run the ball, you kick the ball, you receive the ball, and you're playing defense, coming off a 23-0 victory, getting in the win column. Tell me how that feels.
It feels pretty good. You know, according to since of how we played last week, it wasn't a really good turnout, and I think a lot of people and our coaches expected more from us. And then they always tell it, like the whole team, they're always like, you know, people have they don't have excuses to be tired, but they have reasons. They just got to fight through it. And I like to do as much as I can for the team, and if that means that I have to do a lot more than that's normal, then I'm okay with it.
Coach Holt, getting into the win column tonight and pitching a shutout. Talk about how your team performed tonight.
Yeah, we were disappointed last week. I mean, we played a good Culver team, very athletic, but, you know, to give up 62 points, I mean, that's just kind of unheard of. And my teams have never done that before. I don't think a team at West has probably ever done it before, to be quite frank with you. So, you know, we talked a lot about that all week, but more importantly, it's just, you know, whether we win or lose, it was more about, hey, we got to step our game up because we had guys on film that were walking around and they weren't hustling and we weren't playing with passion and enthusiasm. Tonight, that's all I wanted to see. I didn't know if we were going to win or lose, but we did fly around the field a little bit better and we made some plays. And, you know, I thought we played pretty well defensively. And offensively, if our tempo gets going, it's hard to stop. So we kind of piecing it together, and we knew we got some young guys playing, some inexperienced guys, and so that was good to see. So I'm happy for the guys that we'll watch film tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure we drastically improved as far as the effort goes, and that was what it's all about.
The Saxons are looking to repeat as Pioneer League champs, and in their way was El Segundo. Sitting at 1-1 and looking to increase the win column, SportsDesk reporter Anthony Ciardelli files your report.
On Friday night, the North High School Saxons battled the Eagles of El Segundo High School. The Saxons look to ride their star running back Stephen Bradford to get back in the win column against a powerful Eagles team. The night didn't start off so well for the Saxons. The Eagles would take the lead in the first quarter as Matthew Romero connects with Nathan Kale for the 30-yard touchdown pass. The extra point is good, 7-0 El Segundo. To start the second quarter with the Eagles in the red zone, Bradford gets the diving interception, keeping the Saxons in the game, still 7-0 Eagles. On their next drive, with the Saxons facing 4th and long, quarterback Victor Poyes hits Malik Mosley in stride for the first down. And on the next play, Stephen Bradford rumbles into the end zone. After the extra point, the game is tied at 7, and it would stay that way into the third quarter. In the second half, first play from scrimmage, Poyes is flushed out of the pocket. He tries to get rid of the ball, but it's batted into the air and intercepted by the Eagles, setting up this 37-yard field goal by Jose Hurtado, 10-7 Eagles. After a Saxons drive stalls and they punt, the Eagles rush it on 2nd and 4, but running back Joseph Gorte fumbles the ball, and Saxons defensive end Amari Mosley recovers at midfield. That leads to another Stephen Bradford run, which is eventually ruled a touchdown. The Saxons go up 14-10 after the PAT. Ensuing drive late in the third quarter, Romero is flushed out of the pocket, and he gets picked off by Braden Diocampo, who runs it all the way back and dives to the pylon, putting the Saxons up 21-10 after the extra point. On the kickoff, the teams get into a dust-up on the sidelines, flags fly everywhere. That gives the Eagles a really short field, and once the fourth quarter begins, Romero keeps it for the Eagles' touchdown, 21-17 Saxons. But the Saxons extend the lead to 7 on the next drive with this chip shot field goal off the foot of David Ukatu. Then, with time winding down in the game, Romero gets picked off by Kikoa Carroll, which seals the win for North. For Saxons head coach Todd Croce, the win was all about resilience.
Right, we knew they were going to come out fired up, and we made a mistake right away to start that second half, but we didn't wilt. We kept playing hard, and our defense was solid.
Well, I just had to stay focused. The line did pretty good up front, and just had to run hard. I know they were ready for me.
Well, if you missed tonight's game, you missed a good one. The Saxons get the victory on the back of 2 touchdowns by Stephen Bradford and a pick 6 by Braden Diocampo. The Saxons defense was also buzzing, keeping Eagles star running back Armin Sason off the board. Well, that'll do it from North High School. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Anthony Ciardelli.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, enough about the men, Cedric. Let's talk about the ladies for a second. The Bishop Montgomery Knights have been setting some high standards, no pun intended, but nevertheless, we wouldn't expect anything less from the Lady Knights.
Coming into this season under new leadership with Coach Tiffany Morales, Sports Desk reporter Anthony Ciardelli gives us an introduction to who we should keep our eyes on this season.
Greetings from Bishop Montgomery High School, where the Knights girls volleyball team faced off against the Spartans of South High School. The Knights, led by Tiffany Morales, were looking to go to 3-0, while the Spartans were looking to go to 5-2, and the Spartans gave the Knights as much as they could handle. In the first set, the Knights get off to a good start. Sydney Hamilton receives the Spartan serve, passes it to Tina Levine, who puts it up, and outside hitter Lauren Turner gets the kill. 1-0 Knights. Then down 3-2, the Spartans' Jenny Roblicki gets the block to tie the set at 3. The Spartans take the lead from there, but the Knights would keep it close. Still in the third set, down 2 points, Levine tries to catch the Spartans out of position, and it works, as Spartan junior Kaya Lopez sells out to get there, but just can't muscle it over the net. The Knights pull within 1, 21-20 Spartans. But the Spartans fight off the Knights, as Lauren Walsh takes the set from Ella Guigenti, and she puts it away for the kill. On to set number 2. In the middle of set 2, the Knights up by a point. Levine serves the Spartans Guigenti. She sets Walsh, who's blocked by the tag team of Takanya Stafford and Autumn Kirby, 18-16 Knights. But the Spartans come roaring back. Already up 3 at set point when Sammy Kuo sets it to Kaya Lopez, and look at those ups. She gets the kill and puts the Spartans up 2-0. The Knights, though, show their toughness. Coming back from as many as 6 points down, they watch the match point serve land out of bounds to tie the set at 25. Needing to win by 2 and already up 26-25, the Knights go for the block and the Spartans spike it into their own net as Bishop Montgomery gets the set victory. But in the fourth set, the Spartans took the lead and ran with it. At 23-18, Spartans' Jenny Roblicki gets another block on the way to the 25-18 win for South High School. So first things first, it was a tough loss of the season. What led to this loss?
You know, I think that we have a lot of fire and grit in us, and you know, not a lot of it came out in the first 2 sets. But that third set is what our team is really about.
How did it feel in that third set, having that epic comeback and then ended up taking the set?
The adrenaline is insane. It's unreal. It was really fun to have that as our team was kind of coming back. I think we were down by 6 or so points. So that was really fun, a lot of energy, and we just couldn't carry it over as much as we thought we could.
It was a tough loss for the Knights as they struggled with the strong net play of Spartan sophomore Jenny Roblicki. Next up, the Knights faced the West High School Warriors when they looked to get back on track. Reporting from Bishop Montgomery High School, I'm Anthony Ciardelli for the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Anthony. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break, but don't go anywhere because you're going to want to take a plunge.
Or jump into the pool with these kids that are taking some water polo classes.
And then we're going to go check in with the North Torrance Little League, whose tournament also turned out to be a noble fundraiser.
All this coming up on the Sports Desk. Welcome back to the Sports Desk, everyone. Quick reminder, pull your phones out, #follow for follow, and show some love on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter so that you're always in the know.
Yes, please share your story ideas, post your photos and videos, lend us your voice. Just like our friend from Bishop, we want to share this video with you.
Thank you to one of our viewers who sent this in. What you're seeing is Nick Laufenberg, a senior at Bishop Montgomery who plays wide receiver and defensive back, making an 80-yard kickoff return. Wow, what a play. Thanks so much for sharing this, and keep videos like this coming because we love it.
For this next story, we're going to go across the street to where I got to take a plunge with the kids taking water polo classes. Now, we all know the rigors of the sport, and these kids are learning it all. Let's go poolside. What do you get when you combine football, basketball, rugby, and swimming? Water polo. And that's exactly what brought these kids out here today to try their very first water polo class. So let's go ahead and dive in and see how it went. Kids are making a splash down at the plunge trying water polo for their first time. In this class right here, they're learning the water polo basics, and the most important technique is treading water.
Treading water is paramount. In water polo, you can't really touch the bottom. It's also not able to grab the ball with two hands, and then swimming with your head up. That's another big thing. We have to make sure they're not wobbling their head. They're just looking straight ahead and swimming straight.
And they're learning that there are a couple different ways you can tread water. Christophorus Buholzer explains.
While treading water, you use your legs and they each go in and out together. But with egg beater, they go the opposite way. One goes counterclockwise and one goes clockwise. So it's a little harder for you to tread water, so it makes your legs stronger.
This little man is actually taking the summer class with his older sister Ilana. She's getting her head start because she's planning on earning a scholarship to college playing water polo.
Well, my mom encouraged me to take this water polo class because my hobby is swimming, and I'm thinking about when I'm older and I go to college, I can take this class, like earn a degree in it or something like that.
But as for Christophorus, he's just getting his feet wet for the first time.
Being in the pool is like my second favorite hobby, and I thought I might try water polo because I like treading water and the stuff that goes in it.
As an instructor, Hugo's hoping these classes build leadership and teamwork skills, while also giving the kids an opportunity to see what kind of longevity they will have with the sport.
I like to give every kid an experience. I want them to know and figure out what they like. So if they don't like water polo, that's fine. But if they end up finding a love for water polo, that's great. Maybe they can pursue that in high school or even college.
So for students like Alana, she's learning a lot from these drills. She says some have been easy and others have required more focus, so she doesn't slack on the rules of water polo.
I guess when we do breaststroke kick across the pool, it's a little bit challenging for me because it's hard to keep myself up on the water, above the water, with just my two legs.
But she knows it's all going to pay off soon because high school is coming up in just a few short years. She can't wait to take what she's learning in these classes to those tryouts.
Just to have fun and apply my new skills with my next school that I hopefully get on the water polo team.
Reporting from the Torrance City Plunge, I'm Dani Miskell with the Sports Desk.
That's a great story, Dani. It's so awesome to see the kids fall in love with the sport already so early and working hard to master it.
That's right, Cedric. You know, these kids work really hard and they can earn a full ride scholarship one day. So we'll be sure to keep some tabs on them. Now, didn't you get a full ride scholarship to play football in college?
No, I walked on because that's how I roll. But I admire Alana for setting her goals so early and working hard to earn that scholarship. Well, let's move on now to Little League. North Torrance hosted their very first tournament, and there was a special fundraising initiative behind it. Weren't you there, Dani?
Yes, this tournament took a few months to prepare for. North Torrance invited all the neighboring Little Leagues to participate, recruited volunteers, got commitments, checks, hired an umpire crew, and then they were set. It's time to play ball. So let's take a closer look at what's going down at the North Torrance field. Everyone knows that when a team plays on their home turf, they have the advantage. So the coaches of North Torrance made especially sure that their little sluggers showed what they got and played with pride in this tournament.
We made it a huge emphasis for the kids to come out here and play their hardest, almost as though they've never played this hard because it was our home field.
The North Torrance Legends was one team in this tournament that did not disappoint. Coming off their 2-0 win against Tab Tribe and PVC Dogs, They just wrapped this semifinal game against the Rolling Hill Highlanders and won 8-3. Jackson Sarah shares a highlight.
The batter hit the ball to Luke, who was at shortstop. He threw it to Mateo. They made a double play, and then we won.
We definitely made that known, that this is our home field, and we can play as hard as we did yesterday, and then coming out today to start the game with the win definitely set the tone for the rest of the day.
That tone also sent a message that North Torrance has a lot of really great talent, and they take their Little League very seriously. The community is pulling together to make a united front in saving their fields and keeping the Little League alive and well. What would a Little League be without its beautiful home field? This invitational tournament is the first of its kind, and North Torrance is showing that this field is irreplaceable, the best place to bring the communities together, and most importantly, puts on one great ball game for these kids. Torrance Batting Cages partnered with the tournament and sent their guys out from Jack's to help maintain the fields and touch up the batter's box. For a few of the guys, this field was one of their old stomping grounds.
I'm actually an alumni from here. I actually played here. I used to be as swell as them, so it's kind of nostalgic to see how I grew over time. And I live close here, so I walked here sometimes. I see these kids play. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Coming from these roots, Caden knows that the Little League may be an outreach to some of these kids, and that's why he feels it's important to help the community out.
If you want to be in the community, you got to help out the community. So that's what I believe, how people should help out the Little Leagues and fundraise everything they can.
And the main course for the whole weekend was the snack bar, which just so happens to grill up the best cheeseburgers in town. The league was able to raise money recently for a new sprinkler system, so their next main purchase will be for a lawnmower. And all the kids in the South Bay, not just Torrance, will benefit greatly from these newest additions.
This is awesome fields. They should not be replaced. We should keep them forever and keep this as part of the gem of the South Bay. North Torrance Little League's right in the middle of the whole South Bay. Convenient for everybody. We need these fields for the whole South Bay.
Reporting from the North Torrance Little League field, I'm Dani Miskell with the Sports Desk. And congratulations to the South Bay Hawks for winning the gold bracket, and to the Rolling Hill Renegades for winning the silver bracket. If you want to learn more about the initiative to save the fields, visit their Facebook page to connect and make a donation while you're at it. It's facebook.com/northtorrance.fields.
All right, everyone, that's it for this edition of the Sports Desk.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you, and without you, there's no us.
My name is Cedric Welton.
And I'm Dani Miskell. Please join us again, same time,
same desk,
same hosts.
Until then, don't forget to follow us on the Sports Desk social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And remember, you can email us as well. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next time right here on
the Sports Desk.